Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we are checking out the Leadwerks Game Engine. Not Leadwerks, Leadwerks. Apparently, I've been saying it wrong for years. Now, this is a commercial game engine. I have never covered it on the channel, although I did briefly talk about it when it had a different name, and that is Ultra Engine. You see, Leadwerks 5 was just released the end of November. It was going to be called Ultra Engine. They decided ultimately to come back and call it Leadwerks 5 instead. This, again, is a commercial engine. There are two versions of this available. One is the base version. There's also a trial, by the way, as well. The base version gives you Lua scripting, and then the pro version gives you C++ scripting. I'll show you the C++ side of things later on. This is a commercial engine. It is only available on Steam, which, by the way, Steam are having their winter sale, and this thing is on sale quite often. So make sure you do buy it on sale, which in theory it is right now. So if you like what you see, it should be available in the Steam winter sale once that starts. So you can see I have a light selected in the world. You've got a full editing environment you see right here. I have various different views of the environment. I can switch between here. It uses a traditional brush-based editing system. I'll show you that in action in just a second. But what I can do is I select an object in this world, such as this spotlight right here, and I can do simple things. Like, for example, I could increase the range of this, and you see the results of it right there. Or I could decrease them over here, or I could go over to the appearance, for example, and select a different color. So let's make this a bright red light. There, you can see immediately the results. Now, on top of that, where exactly does the Lua kick in? Well, let's go over here and select this door instead. So you can see this door selected. It has a swinging door attached to it with a number of properties available. And you can notice down here, there is this select script. And I can attach whatever I want via this select script. So for example, here, if I go under the physics, you'll notice there is where swinging door is available. What exactly is that swinging door? Well, let's go back over here to the projects. We'll go down here into the scripts like so. And you'll notice if I go under physics, swinging door is available right there. Now, one of the nice things about this engine, you do get a lot of content out of the box. You get prefab models, textures, scripts, and so on, all to get going. And then this is also very nice. I do like Lua as a scripting language, and it has a full editor integrated in here. So if you are using the base version, developing your game's logic entirely using Lua, you don't ever have to leave it. There's no external editor required. This is available here. It does have a debugger available for it as well. And what you're going to notice here is if I go, for example, swinging door, you do get full IntelliSense encode completion, which is especially nice when it comes to the world of Lua, because that isn't always the case. So you got full code editor available there. You attach your game logic via these scripts to your objects. Again, I will show you C++ later on. And then you have a level editing environment. This uses a brush-based approach. And let me show you how that works. Let's go ahead and create a new level here. And this is basically going to show you the basics of creating the simplest game ever from scratch. So I'm not going to save our scene, go here to the quad view, and what instead I'm going to do is come up here and create a box. And let's click in the one viewport, drag, and then you can see I can set my box up over there. You see a preview of it over here. I can go into another viewport here, and I can change the height of the created box like so, and then press enter to commit. And then what I could do, it had a texture selected, but if I did not, I come over here to materials, for example, and then I'm going to find ground here, and I'm going to pick one. So you can see here, we got a variety of different materials here. You could change the values of them here. So if you want to change the brightness, for example, you can change that out right there. You've got control over displacement maps and so on, how the lighting interacts with materials, etc. You like a material, you've got literal drag and drop into the scene, and there we have our material set up. Now I'm actually going to do a little bit of painting onto this material, so I'm going to do one more step here and to show you something else that's available. I'll go to the face view over here, and you can notice I can do things like set up subdivisions. So I'm going to set up 16 by 16 subdivisions, and then you see we got a ton more to work with on this particular object. So you've got the ability to edit things directly in here, down to and including I could do things directly by the vertices, and I can move them around like so. So you can actually create whatever object you wish, working as if you're working directly with a polygonal model or directly inside of the editor. And then with that selected, I could come down here. Let's pick a different thing. So I go here. Let's go to debris, which is actually, I think, what I already had selected. And we can start pasting in some waste. So you can actually do your level creation directly inside here. You can actually even go one step further than that and do Boolean. So for example, here, I could come in here. I go ahead and create such as this cylinder right here. I'm going to go ahead into the top view. Let's create it right around there, I think. Now, let's do it at a corner. So over here like so, enter to create, boom. So there is our cylinder in the world. And then what I can actually do is go ahead and go Tools, Carve. And then what I've done is I've basically just carved out the world. So I could come here, grab this guy, and then you can see, boom, we have a hole in our world. So if you want, you've got this full CSG editing environment, super easy to work with. Now, how do I do everything else? Well, let's go ahead and we'll go down here to the models section available here. And there's like a placeholder for a player. So let's go ahead and add a player into this. So, characters, there we go. Player, like so. And let's just drop that into the world. This is just a physical representation. It's literally a model just for my reference. So you got that in the world, and it is now positioned. Let's say I want to go ahead and select this guy right now, and I want to make this player, well, a player. How do we do that? I'll come in here, and I go ahead and say player, like so, and expand that out, and we'll make this an FPS player. So now we have an FPS player in the world. Let's go ahead and run that, and you can see the results. Okay, my map. All right, so there, by the way, is how you run your game. Just hit the release button at the top. It will immediately run and evaluate, and there is our player in the world, like so. And we quit that one out. Let's say we want to add some more objects into the world. So let's go back over here to the project. Like I said, this comes with a bunch of stuff. So let's say we need some barrels in our world. Come in here. Here is a pre-configured barrel with a bunch of textures. By the way, model viewer is available here with integrated tools available for all of your models. So I just basically create this, drop that into the world. Placement is that simple. So there we now have a model in the world. I can go back over here to the properties of said model, and let's go ahead and add some physics on it. So physics here, let's give this guy a mass of 2, make it of type prop. All right, that works. Gravity is applied. And then let's just go ahead and put that right there. So let's put this actually quite high. And then we will Control C, Control V, and we have now Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Yeah, let's just put that one up a little bit higher. All right, so now we have our guys in the world. They're falling, and boom, and then you will automatically interact with them. So they do have physics applied, so you can push things around. Something that's on its side should roll easier, like you can see right there. And that is basically how easy it is to create a game. Now, I did not create a nav map. Oh, no, it automatically did it. So you see it updates, boom, I dropped through the floor. So that is how the level editing works. It is actually really quite simple. And you saw that character controller we looked at right there. Well, if I go back over here to the project, once again, it is just a straightforward Lua script. So if I wanted to come in here, scripts, player, FPS player, here is the logic for your FPS player controller, like so. And then you can notice it actually exposed a number of parameters out. We could easily get, so if I leave the editor over here, go back over to our scene, select our player, you're going to notice all of those things are controlled out so your designer or editor can work with them at that level. Now, I did mention earlier on there is a C++ DLC available as well. To get to that one, go here, go back to the project manager like so. I'm going to create a new project here called my CPP demo. Like so, and this is the exact same as the other setup. So instead of Lua, I can go ahead and create this as C++. Again, this does require the C++ DLC if you are interested. You could do a VR game or first-person shooter as your templates, or I guess you could make it completely empty. We'll go ahead and create that. That is going to take a couple of seconds. And then once created, you will find it is available here. Let's go ahead and load that one up. Here you can see exact same thing. So come on in here, maps, starting map. You're going to notice, boom, the kind of exact same setup that we saw before. So here is the same world level environment, everything else going on, same scripts attached and so on. So let's just quickly go back and take a look at our door, for example. So over here, there is your door logic. The door, if I come back over here, you'll notice it now has a swinging door attached. You can add components the same way. The thing that's different here is now we are in C++ land. So if I come over to our project like this, click it and say open the folder, you will notice that if I go here, there is a project file here for, oh, darn it, for it. Now, unfortunately, it loaded the wrong version. This does require C++. There, you can see the error down here. 1 second, let me load it in the 2026 version. So here, it should have opened it with the right version all along. I do not know why it didn't, but here, 2026, that is one of the requirements. If you are going to work with C++, you need to have the newest version of Visual Studio installed. You'll notice it goes ahead and loads it. I am not updating right now because I am in a demo, but you will notice here, all of your things are implemented as code. very straightforward. Your game logic is right here. The entry point to your game is game.cpp. So here is the initialization code. Here is loading the settings, saving settings, and so on. The menu is controlled here. Straightforward C++ code as well. And then the key thing you're going to notice here is if I drop down into entities, for example, physics, swinging door, here is the logic for a swinging door. So this is how that is ultimately implemented. So if you want, again, this is the exact same process that we had with Lua. It's just in this particular time, you're working with C++ as well. It makes it a very approachable C++ game engine. And then on top of that, you do have this full editing environment. So you have control over your game logic on the other side. And then you can create these scripts, basically, these attachments for the various different pieces, all of the stuff that's available down there. It's just done in Visual Studio. Again, it has to specifically be Visual Studio 2026. But if you're looking for an accessible, easy to use visual C++ code editor with a focus on performance, and you're okay with it, A, being commercial, and B, being basically limited to Windows, at least for the tooling environment, this is an option for you. So again, we are looking at the Leadwerks Game Engine. It used to be available on their website. You can get a little bit more details about the features of it here, and then how the programming works. It also has its own GUI layer, etc., materials, graphic system, so on. It does support VR, a number of high performance settings here as well. But the only place you can buy it is right here on Steam. I don't know if the sale has started yet. Let's go ahead and find out. No, does not look like there's a sale yet. So your default price looks like it's about, I think, $50 US, and then the same deal for the Pro version. But you will find it is often on sale, which again, I include today to probably be one of those days as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Leadwerks Game Engine. I don't know how many times I called it Leadwerks during this video, probably a non-trivial number of times. But yeah, you can see it in action right here. It is mature. It has a number of tools. It has C++ available as a DLC option. Otherwise, it is Lua based with full Lua tooling available inside of it. And there's more to it that I actually didn't even show. There's a terrain editor. There is this flow graph system available for controlling things in the world using this blueprints-like programming language on top of the Lua, and optionally C++ it's available as well. You do, again, have a world editing. So if I came back in and create a new level environment here, let's go over here to the quad view. I could create terrain, very straightforward as well. Create here, and then you can, craft terrain with tooling there as well. Go down the other direction as well. You do have multiple texturing options available. So here, once again, if I wanted to go ahead and do that, let's do debris again. So I wanted to do construction debris. I can literally just drop it onto the map over here, and then I can switch over and start painting. So paint mode. And I could paint in construction debris as well. So you do have a full-blown terrain editor on top of everything else we looked at here. So it is a very mature and robust game engine, all available in one place. The only optional thing you need on top of that is Visual Studio 2026 if you pick up the C++ Pro version. All right, that's it. Leadwerks Game Engine. Have you ever used it? What do you think? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.